I'm Gina,
Sam.
and honestly, I never thought we'd be telling this story. Specifically of this story, we're going to be sharing the 7 months leading up to us leaving our job and the toxic cycle we were stuck in with our boss. I do want to say that whilst working at this place, it wasn't all bad.
Yeah,
We did have some good times. Just so happens that the bad really outweighed the good. The 7 months specifically is when there was like a shift,
or a big shift.
and it just went downhill
so quickly, so badly.
We were just like, what the are we doing?
Who the are we working for?
Why the are we still here? Yeah. I was a sales associate, so serving customers, cleaning the store, store security, preparation of stock, transporting of stock between stores. There are like some other things that were entailed in the job, but they're considered identifying details, so I'll leave those out.
I started off like Gina did. I was a sales associate. I did all like the exact same jobs as you, and then maybe 11 months in or a year, I became like 2IC/manager for all the stores.
Yeah, that's quick.
Yeah, that was really quick.
Yeah, that is quick.
Yeah. We'll start off with Jan. Do you want to start us off?
Yeah, I can. So Jan 11th, we had a work meeting with her, Sam and I. Sam and I were a little bit off, so we tried to be very transparent with our boss in terms of where we were at mentally, just so she knows, a little bit of a backstory in the sense to why we're a little bit not mentally there. There was some personal stuff and an incident involving SA. And honestly, the conversation did not go how I thought it would go.
Nope. It was hard to watch.
It was hard to be there.
Yeah.
It turned into a therapy session for her. And
which, mind you, if I'm going to quickly add in there, those people who she told us hurt her like that, she brought around her workers. So the shoplifting incidents and that type of stuff wasn't the only time she risked our safeties.
Yep.
That topic of conversation and that happening to her.
Oh, the irony.
Mm-hmm.
The irony. She was very sexually inappropriate.
Yeah. She was trying to kiss me multiple times. She just would not stop. I gave in. I kissed her and she still wanted more. Yeah, it was really uncomfortable, and like it's not the first time it's happened ever. I did excuse it, but yeah, it just got to the point.
We always do when it comes to alcohol, though.
Yeah.
Especially like those kind of situations. You're like, okay, well, there was alcohol involved, but that's still no excuse for that kind of behavior.
No.
We moved to 2 days later on the 13th. We are working and we get messages from our boss. She is currently out of town, and she messages us and says, I want to come home. I've been drinking, but I hate him. Help, I hate him.
So we're freaking out. Like, yeah. We're not even together. It's busy. Yeah. We're getting all these text messages. Like, what the was going on? Like,
we have no idea. We're trying to call her and just be like, what's going on? We said that we're working. There's nothing we can do, but we can like be here for you. Do we need to call anybody? So we just kept checking in on her throughout the day, and it seemed to ease down. Skip to the next day, and she messages again. She's like, hey girls, disaster night. I'm still out of town. I want to get away from said ex, but my car is here. Dudes, he's scaring me. Are you guys both working today? I can't pick up my car without a sober driver. Also, not so keen on being alone with him. I feel like we just switch into gear so quick now. It's a reflex.
Yeah. We got a car, we got a driver, and we went to go and rescue her.
Yeah, we
went on our day off. We ditched our families
to go help her.
Yeah. The text messages we were getting, nothing was making sense. We knew that there was trouble, but we don't know what the heck we're getting into. We get there, and the first thing she says to us,
what are you doing here? We're in constant communication with her while coming down to her. We're there for a couple of hours. We kind of just gauge the situation, make sure she's safe, try and, give her water, get her something to eat. At the end of that, she didn't want to leave with us.
No.
She wanted to stay. So there was nothing else we could do. We had to work the next day as well. So we headed back home.
Yeah. These exact dates, which were the 12th, the 13th, the 14th, the 21st, and the 22nd.
The now ex has trespass orders against him for the locations of the stores and protection order against, him for her. This man was just menacing, just constantly either drunk or high, coming into stores, looking for her. It was just very inappropriate behavior. And with this, we have to contact our boss every single time there's an appearance to add to a police report. We have to file police reports and get security footage of time, date, and all of that, and upload that to files. That's aside from our usual job. It's exhausting. The man was persistent.
March 2nd to the 9th, still the same thing. He's still menacing. There's sightings, lots of police reports. And then on the 9th, he finally gets arrested. He gets released hours later. And then we move to 23rd of March. And this is where started to hit the fan, from this day onwards.
Yeah. We get a message from a friend at the time, not a friend now, that our boss is on the street and she's inebriated and she is with X in her vehicle. She cannot walk or talk or hold her head up. So me and Sam find cover at the stores that we're at and we get to her. It's just a show. The car's an absolute mess. There's alcohol everywhere.
Yeah.
It's noon on a Saturday, the busiest day, and I'm trying to help our boss stand, first of all, and find her belongings. While that's happening, Sam's in an argument with him.
He hit every nerve of mine and succeeded in getting a reaction out of me. I think it was purely because of how disrespectful he was being. He made a comment to Gina, and it was something like, "Oh, were you trying to tease me in that skirt, with your legs," or something like that. Yeah, and then I really started to let him have it, and we just were arguing nonstop.
Also, because he was being very rude to our boss
at that time, and I was not going to just stand there and watch that happen. But yeah, long story short, I got the keys back, and we drove her home. Yeah.
He walked off and we were like, no, we got to get her out of here. We got to get her back home. We made sure that she was safe and doors were locked and she was asleep, and we Ubered back to work.
Yeah.
And we worked the rest of our shift.
And then we move on to the 24th. I go to work. Everything's all good. Maybe half an hour, 45 minutes before my shift ends, I get a phone call from my boss. Mind you, I have maybe 15 people in the store. My phone's on speaker, I don't have my headphones, and she's just having a go at me. She's mad at me because I didn't tell her a piece of information that is private to me, that is my business. I don't know why she felt the need,
she felt to know that stuff.
Yeah.
So we move on to the 25th. It's a Monday. We're at work, and we get a message later into our shift, almost towards closing, just asking if we can pop by and bring something over to our boss's house. I should be at home eating dinner, but I'm not. There's a knock at the door, and it's the ex. She says she's scared. She doesn't want to let him in. So we're like, okay, no worries.
Let's call the cops.
Yeah, we'll call the cops. No worries. No, it's okay. I'm with you guys. I can handle it. Let him in. Are we your servants? Open the door. I'll be in the lounge.
Yeah, I had to open the door, by the way, and it's not
2 days ago, you guys were yelling at each other in the middle of the street.
And so I'm like...
Another point, she didn't give a about our safety.
I actually was shitting bricks. I didn't know what I was opening the door to. But yeah, we let him in, and...
Yeah, we see the interaction going on. She's silent. Sam is trying to get him to admit on video.
All the crimes he pretty much committed for the police report.
Yeah, he admitted to all that stuff. He was so erratic. He was changing like clothes and jackets and throwing shit around the lounge.
Yeah,
and then
huffing and puffing.
And then he just jumped over the fence and took off. It was wild.
Yeah, it was really weird. We were like, okay.
So we locked the door straight behind him. We shut her windows. We made sure her pets were fed, just tidied up the kitchen a bit, and then we left. We went home.
Yeah.
This was a daily occurrence.
The next morning, the 26th, we both wake up with a series of text messages. They were from the night before, but we had fallen asleep. And the text, like all of them said, "Hi, help, so-and-so hurt herself. X here. Amber won't come. She won't move. Not me. This is what I come home to." And so we're like, oh my gosh, what happened? We went, I sent out I think our text, just for our safety, just in case, because we don't know what we were going into. And then we get there and there's just blood everywhere. There's blood on the walls. There's blood on the, in the bathroom. Smeared
blood on the walls. The kitchen is a mess. There's a half-cooked roast in the kitchen sink. There's dishes smashed. There's bottles everywhere. We were just here and left, and then, she's covered in blood. The couch is covered in blood.
Yeah, on the pet as well. There was blood on the pet.
We cleaned everything up. They had said that they had already contacted the police and the ambulance. So we just put up our sleeves, did the dishes, took the rubbish out.
Cleaned up the blood.
Luckily, her neighbor had
cleaned up most of the
piles.
Yeah.
And plus, we had to go to work.
Yeah, we went straight after to work.
I'll start.
Yeah, you go through your initial red flags that you noticed.
She eased us in with,
Thank you for that, by the way.
Yeah, that was really kind.
Yeah.
Thank you. Mine was the absence of our boss.
Yeah.
I didn't meet her until maybe 3 or 4 months in. This is a small business as well. Obviously, I knew the manager. She was my best friend. But not meeting my boss, I thought, was really strange. And, she wasn't even there for, hiring or training or even signing my contracts or anything.
No one met her. It was just only strange because you would talk to her every single day.
Constant communication.
She would, via text and everything. So, I didn't go through that. She was always there when I started.
Yeah, maybe I got lucky.
Oh, you definitely got lucky. I think everyone who started and she was always there, would tell you the same thing. My first red flag, the passive aggressiveness that she always had. That is the only tone she ever spoken, ever texted in.
She'd make you feel really small, really small.
Oh yeah, she was good at bullying.
Oh, thanks for leading me into my next one. Yeah, bullying.
Yeah.
She would badmouth employees. Like I said, I hadn't met her for the first couple of months starting the job, and I felt like I knew her because we would communicate every day, but not actually knowing her face to face, and her talking about other employees to me when I just started. It was crazy.
Yeah. Also, on your first week, I was gobsmacked. Yeah, I had told her about how we maintain our friendship and all of that, and I think it was just the fact of how comfortable she got with you so quickly.
First, so they're your employees. Why have them as employees if you don't like them and you're okay to badmouth them? That was crazy. If they made a mistake, it would just be humiliate them in front of all the other workers. And I was like,
yeah. But also it was
this woman's twice our age, least we forget.
Yeah. Also, I do want to say we're not innocent in the whole talking thing as well. We didn't, tell her to stop.
Yeah, we're complicit.
Yeah, we're complicit in that.
By not saying don't talk about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Don't talk about employees that way. We didn't.
Yeah, we didn't stop her. It was a really uncomfortable situation.
Yeah.
That me and Gina were put between a rock and a hard place. We didn't have the luxury to risk our livelihood. So we just let her. I have one more.
Okay.
I think this is a very, very big one. Favoritism.
Oof.
So that was a very big thing. It wasn't subtle.
No, it was very well known.
Obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd get introduced as the favorite. Hi, this is Sam. She's my favorite. Oh, there's my favorite. Oh my gosh, my favorite. Is my favorite working today? And it wasn't just to random people. It was also to the other workers.
Yeah.
which I think is so shady. It's also like, I would feel so shady if my boss was doing that, like, to me.
Yeah.
Little did I know the trauma that would come with that. I feel
Yeah,
so
it
bad
was
for
the other
everyone else
workers that she would just like go full force on them.
Mm.
And it was like Sam would take the blame for, any other mistake that an employee would make because she wouldn't get as much of a telling off as they would. So you did
No.
cop like a lot of heat
Oh
for the other
yeah,
workers.
I definitely did. But it wasn't like that much heat. I knew. Like, I
Yeah.
knew I would not get in trouble. And also, everyone makes mistakes. Like, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the way she was just, got no words. Still staying after those red flags.
Yeah. So my first one is manipulation. She was amazing at it.
No one has ever gotten us like that, played us a fool like that.
It's a lot of gaslighting, a lot of love bombing. She would love you one day and like hate you the next, and it just switched like that.
Yeah, it was like when you went into work, you never knew which boss you were getting.
No.
You didn't know if you were getting the nice boss, the evil boss, the friendly boss. Like, it was
Walking on eggshells constantly.
It was exhausting. The micromanaging.
Yeah.
She would want to know what exactly I was doing at what time, if I had gotten it done. It got to the point where she was messaging me directly, hinting at going through security footage with timestamps. And all she wanted from me was me to say exactly what I was doing.
When she was doing it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, she wanted security footage to prove that.
Yeah. It got to the point where it was like, getting sent read receipts of messages that I had read, which I had not. My phone just wasn't lock screened when those messages came through.
FYI, we're not supposed to have our phones on us.
Yeah.
It's a part of our contract to have your phones, in your bag away.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to be on your phone unless obviously given permission.
Yeah.
But permission comes with harassment.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Right.
Keeping tabs.
Yeah. And then it just got to the point where after all of that, she started ignoring my boundaries. I would get messages before my shift started or after late at night or on my day off. And at first I was like, okay, this is all good. It's about work. It's no big of a deal. I can solve this problem with one text. It's only about 30 seconds of my time. But then it started getting personal. She would blur the line of employer, employee only for her benefit. If
we're just not having, the best day mentally, it was like, oh, well, I have mental health as well. And I was like, okay, this is just being relatable. No, like, do you take meds? Yes, I'm on meds. What's your dosage? Like, how long have you been on them? I was just in shock. I was like, where am I right now? Yeah, it was constantly one-upping and, like, oh, mine's this and mine's that. Mine's probably worse than yours. Have you ever had, like, anxiety attacks and panic attacks? And where's the worst place you've had, like, this? Yeah. I was just...
Have you had this type of episode? I just remember the time of winter where I had tonsillitis, then the flu, then I caught influenza off Gina, and then my influenza turned into pneumonia. And then after pneumonia, I got a chest infection. And after the chest infection, I got a very severe UTI. My doctors didn't even want to keep giving me antibiotics because I was still taking antibiotics. And I remember telling her how horrible my winter was.
Also, she's working throughout this entire thing. I think she got one day off, and that was like to go to the doctors.
And she said verbatim to me, oh yeah, but that's nothing. Like, you haven't even experienced being sick if you haven't had. And I'm just standing there like, what the
Yeah, it was crazy.
Like, the lack
Nothing
of
you went through was ever like good enough. Like, she had it way worse than you. So why are you even complaining? She would store information that you would tell her in a vulnerable moment when the lines were crossed. She would store that information and then later throw it back at you, like, to make you feel like...
She never wanted to know because she cared.
No.
It was she wanted to know so she had leverage against you.
Yeah.
Like, it just was stored in the box with the label "use later." The whole profit over people mentality. There was no consideration, no empathy. I remember when I first started, I asked what the procedure was when dealing with like a shoplifter, or if you have one, and I was told you are to run after the shoplifter. when I had my first shoplifter. I remember the whole time when the confrontation went down, I was so terrified of getting in trouble from my boss that
Fair.
yeah, like my brain was like, you getting told off by your boss is way worse than you getting in hiding and potentially ending up in hospital.
Your boss is telling you run and get it back, and
Yeah.
then if you don't get it back, she's like, "What's the like? Send me the security footage. What were you doing at the time that this
Yeah.
happened? How did you not get it back? Why did you not confront? Why did you not like run after
Yeah.
them?" It was like, "Oh my gosh, I have a store full of customers, or I'm serving somebody. I don't have a million eyes. I'm only one person working in a store." She was more worried about losing out on sales or losing out on how much an item was, or when it came to closing and security had left, could we close like earlier? She was like, well, how much money are we going to lose in that time where you
It was
closed
always
early?
money.
Always.
It was money over people. Like it was
profit over people.
So from red flags and we get to toxic behaviors, and we were like, okay.
We're still making excuses.
Yeah.
We're still being like, but the day she's nice, but the day she's nice,
Yeah.
It's just a toxic cycle. This one's a little bit rough. So we're working and I'm at one store, Sam's at another store, and our boss calls us on our group chat and says that she needs to have a meeting with us. She then questions why I'm looking around the store and not looking at her. Like, look at me when I'm talking to you. I was like, I have a customer in here. I want them to like know that I'm also present. She was like, well, kick them out. Kick the customer out. I was like, oh my gosh. So I go up to the customer and I say that I have to go to a meeting. I'm really sorry, but I'm going to have to close the store. I don't know for how long. They were really lovely about it. And so I shut the store. She's like, I need you guys to come here. This is on the call while I'm on it, not while Sam's on it.
No.
She's like, I need you to close up both your stores and I need you guys to come here right now for a meeting. And here's a list of like the things I need you to bring. And so I write the list down and hang up the phone and start closing my store.
Yeah, and while Gina's going through all of that, I jump onto the call and oh my gosh, she just like hated me. And first thing she says to me is, I'm not happy with you. I have a bone to pick with you. We need to have a meeting. You're in trouble. Yeah, I was like, whoa, why didn't Gina like warn me? I would have prepared myself. But also me getting in trouble constantly, like I'm talking on the daily, it wasn't new. Like it started like end of 2023 leading up all the way up until when we left.
Yeah.
I got the whole look at me when I'm talking to you. Why do you keep looking away from your phone? All of that as well. Same as Gina. And she told me that I need to go over. Gina has the list. Yeah. And then Gina walked in. I think it was when the phone call was like almost done. She closed my store and I asked Gina, I was like, okay, well, what's the deal about this list? Like, what do we have to get for her?
We had to get 2 packets of 25 cigarettes and 32 beers.
So we went and got everything on the list and we went over to her house. First thing she says to us,
what are you doing here?
Honestly, if I had $1 for every time I heard that, I'd be a millionaire. But we get inside, everything's cordial, everything's all good. And then she brings up not being happy with me, Yeah, and she says the same things that she says over the phone. I can't even remember what she was mad about. We piece it. Also, I thought we would go over about this problem she had with me and then solve it. And then like an hour later, she'd bring it up again. And it was like, I would say at least four times it got brought up. And then
it was obviously like way later into the night.
Oh, yeah.
She just switched.
Yeah.
Like her personality went pure evil.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember her treating me as badly until that night. It was
was horrendous. The stuff she was saying was never heard anybody talk that way to another person.
Yeah, it was awful. I think she went into that little box, the use later box, and pulled out everything. And that was, she fired like everything at me that night. Every insecurity that I've ever told her about that I have about myself, like she used against me, and she was just real nasty about it. And it wasn't just things that she said, like, to turn around and pretty much be like, Yeah, we said all the shit about you, you're fat. Like, we made fun of like how fat you were, all that stuff. And I was like, damn, kick a girl while she's down, why don't you? It was like everything underneath the sun. And so I was livid, but I'm an angry crier. You are too. So when we get really, really angry, we cry.
Yeah.
Also, I was really upset because, I did still have a lot of love for her. And
Yeah.
yeah, and a bit of respect still. I only really respected the authority figure because that's how we were raised. Yeah, and so I started crying, and I excused myself. I went outside.
Yeah.
And it was just you two.
She then like switched when you left and then went back to like a conversation that we were having previously. And I was like, something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know where I am. Like, what's going on right now? And then it wasn't until she could like see Sam, and Sam was like coming back into view into the room, and then she just went at her again. And I'm unsure about what's going on and what like how
because
to handle.
we were just laughing 5 minutes ago.
But the she was saying to you, there's no reason, explanation, nothing for treating somebody like and saying hurtful things that are their insecurities. It's never okay.
Yeah.
I made it known to her as well. I lost my cool. I got in her face and I was screaming at her, why are you saying this stuff? Like, shut the up. Do you know how much this is hurting her right now? You can see how upset she is. Like, stop doing this. Like, she's laughing and she thinks it's a grand old time, and it was horrendous behavior.
She was trying to force us to stay as well. Like, when I had excused myself, I was sorting out a ride.
For us.
Me and Gina to go home. She was saying we weren't allowed to leave yet, so we had to wait until she passed out.
We locked up our house. We made sure her pets were fed. I don't know why we did that, but that's just what we did. And then we left.
On the 18th, we started a different role.
We start purchasing stock for our boss and her businesses.
So our workload is way bigger because we're running our stores, and then also we're trying to fit into this new schedule, her house visits, her errands, all of that stuff.
Yep.
And then we moved to the 20th of April. We're at work.
Yep.
Yeah. We practically live there at this point.
And we get a phone call from our boss, and she's telling us that her mum is coming over and she wants to tell her mum about everything that's been happening with the ex situation over the last couple of months, because she hasn't seen her mum since January. And her mum has no idea what's going on, and she would love to have like us over there for support. So we find cover for the stores for, I think it was 2 hours or something like that, while we head over to her place. Her mum is visibly upset and like really sad to hear that stuff has been going on. Her mum was also really lovely about the fact that we had been doing a lot, which is the first time, probably the only time, that someone's acknowledged what we did in terms of helping her out. Her mum was like, this is not your responsibility. Like, you guys are her employees. You guys are also 25 years old and shouldn't have to deal with, your boss's personal life, which we knew, but she didn't really have anyone else.
She pretty much decides to leave town to go into hiding, which we are all for because,
she's
safer. The next few days, I think, were pretty blissful. Yeah, and 3 days later, 23rd, we get to work and we are getting coffee, and then we get like a spam of text messages saying like, I hate her, I can't stand her, come get me. Like,
I don't want to be here anymore.
There were no questions asked. It was demands. So we were like, okay, let's find cover and we'll go get her. We had to message her and tell her though, like, yeah, we can come get you, but we got no gas, and also we're broke. And she was like, easy peasy, like, take some money, fill up your car and come get me, just get a receipt. And we're like, okay, cool. So we find cover, go and chuck gas in, and then we go and get her. And everything's fine, all good. We get her.
She wants to stop at the stores just to check on everything. And then she was like, what are you guys doing for the rest of the day since you guys found cover? And I was like, me and Sam need a drink. Like, this has been rough for us.
Yeah.
She was like, okay, cool. Like, let's grab some alcohol and head back to mine. I was like, oh, I don't think that's a good idea. And she was like, but I really want you guys to like stay with me. Like, I'm still not feeling like comfortable enough to be at home alone. We reassured her though that we had been like obviously staying at her house for the last couple of nights, and there hadn't been any like altercations. There had been no noises, no
No
like
sightings.
it was all calm. But yeah,
It's always calm before the storm, hey?
facts. And so we decided to get alcohol and go back to hers. I don't know why we decided that, especially considering how the 1st of April Easter drinks went. But I think we thought that this would be different.
So we drink.
Yeah, we drink. And it's honestly going all good. And it gets like later into the night. We like obviously have dinner. Then games get brought up, card games specifically, and that's my cue to excuse myself.
Yeah.
I do not play games. I'm not allowed to play games.
She's not.
Yeah, I get very competitive, and I'm a sore loser.
Yeah. I mean,
and I'm a cheater.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not allowed to play. I excuse myself and I go to bed, and Sam and our boss are
playing last card or war games. And honestly, I should have went to sleep when Jen went to sleep, but I didn't. Everything was funny. I was telling her, "There's no way you're going to win." Just things like that you say when you're versing someone like in a game.
Banter.
And yeah, it was just banter, or so I thought it was. Anyways, she brought out the side of her that she brought out on Easter, and we were just arguing. And it got to the point where we were pretty much in a screaming match. She was yelling at me, laughing in my face, and so yeah, I had enough, and I was like, nah, this, you, I'm going. Yeah, I called my older sister, and I told her to come and get me. And so on her way, she came. She's still having a go at me. I get to the kitchen. Gina walks out of the room. Poor Gina. I felt so bad in that moment because I know she does not like hearing people scream. So while we were having an argument, she's in her room by herself having a panic attack, which I felt really bad about. I tell Gina, I'm crying, I'm fuming, and I'm telling Gina, get her away from me. I want to leave. Like, I'm going home. And Gina's like, okay, like how are you getting home? And I said, my sister's here. She's already like in the driveway. She's here to pick me up. And in this time, I'm trying to leave, and my boss is trying to force me to stay. She's trying to come at me. From this night, she accuses me, and I think to this day, she would still accuse me of coming at her physically. But I do feel the need to defend myself, especially because she's a white woman and I'm POC. I did not come at her physically. I came at her verbally. Yes, my tone and everything was aggressive, but I never laid a hand on her. Yeah, I leave. I'm still heated, and I'm willing to set all of that aside to go to work.
Go and do our morning job by
Yep.
purchasing stock and take that to the stores and everything, and go back to her house.
Yeah, that's when I have a conversation with her. I wasn't allowed to have you there, but she was allowed to have her friend there, listen and support her. First thing she says to me was, I forgive you. I'm like, what? We both have to share the responsibility and accountability of that night, of that argument. So I didn't apologize, even though she forgave me. And we pretty much squashed it. I set it aside
for the benefit of the
Yeah.
day. And then we headed out of town.
Yeah.
Because we had to go purchase stock. And throughout the day, she was like saying about how like uncomfortable and nervous she was to stay back at her place because we wanted to go home. Like we want to go back to our own places. We've been house sitting her house and looking after her, and we kind of just needed a break.
And we missed our families.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we like our families and our families like us. You and your mom are so close. It's really rare that you guys don't spend a lot of time together. And I missed my nana.
Yeah. And we made her feel really good about the fact that there was no visits. There was nothing while we were staying at her house and looking after her animals. Mind you, she was drinking since waking up that morning and during her conversation with Sam and the whole day while we were out of town. So she had a lot of liquor in her. And on the way back, you felt the shift immediately in the car. And it was like, I can't believe you girls. And we were like you can't believe like how strong we are, how like, good we are with shit. About
There's some good stuff
on.
that's gonna follow that.
It's coming. And then she was like, I just can't fucking believe you girls. And I was like, I got chills. I
got scared.
I was not ready for another argument. Like I'm over
I'm
it.
all argued out.
been a long 4 months of her. We're starting to feel a little bit nervy because we're in traffic on the motorway and she is intoxicated and she's having a go at us. We're kind of just side-eyeing each other. And then she's like, turn the music off. In my car. My car. So we do, and we're just like silent. We've decided we're not going to say anything. We're looking at each other like, she's on one, calling us selfish, ungrateful. She doesn't like trust us. She doesn't trust anybody. People always use her.
Also, this is where she brought up again that she never trusted girls ever. She never got along with girls.
We just shut our mouths. We were like, did. You know what? I'm not going to even talk. I tried looking in the rearview mirror at her and she was like, what are you looking at? I was like, oh my gosh.
Honestly.
So just like,
God forbid you were checking for traffic.
We finally make it to her house and I'm like, okay, I've got to get all her out of my car and get all of our out of her house and into my car.
Yeah, like 45 minutes of silence being berated by your boss. You know, it can't get worse than that. But it did. While Gina's unloading and loading the car, she's having to go at me. So every single thing to do with work, every job or task that I had, she brought up. I gave her an answer for all of it. And, she was like, I can't yell at her for that. So she just kept trying and trying. She didn't succeed. And it wasn't until she walked past the toaster and she picked it up and she said, if you ever pull something like this again, I will fire you. I will find a much better reason or something better than the toaster to fire you over. And then she starts to raise the toaster. And this is when Gina comes back in and she's standing behind me and I'm like I'm about to get hit. I'm directly across her. By the way, there's maybe we're 5 feet away from each other. She raises it and then aims for my face, throws it, and it's a hard throw. It landed by my feet. Yeah, I'm staring down at the toaster and I hear her say, I want you to say this will never happen again. And I'm like, okay, fine. So I look up at her and I literally say, this will not happen again. Exactly like that. And she goes, good. And I'm like, okay. And me and Gina leave and right behind us, she slams the door in our face. And we're like, okay, well, that's that. I mean, we were prepared to quit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We were sending out all these text messages being like,
we were getting
hiring?
So emotional because we're so angry and we're angry criers. So
I think it was at that point we were like, well, we are going to leave. For real.
We've had enough. Yeah, and surprisingly enough, the next day we worked. We have a responsibility. We didn't communicate via our chat with her. So she messaged and she said, you guys, you make me feel so protected and cared for. I think you made a mistake not staying and we can talk about it if necessary. But all is forgiven. I need to remember my girls are 25 years old and they're doing great and I'm still proud as of them. I said, morning, I'm out of town today. We didn't go to do the purchasing job prior to work because it's our day off. And in regards to the situation on Wednesday, we're still trying to process everything. So not comfortable talking about it right now. She said, remembering Sam came at me 2 nights before.
Again, did not.
And all I cared about was that my baby Sam was safe. Am I even in this conversation? I'm a person as well.
I know.
So process away. It's not cool in my eyes. A couple of messages back, she said, all is forgiven. So, okay. This is me. I completely understand you felt hurt and disappointed in us, and I totally get it. Your reaction, however, escalated the situation on Wednesday, calling us ungrateful. Throwing the toaster at Sam and threatening to fire her was extremely bad. She goes, meh, I remember most of it. For example, I smashed the toaster near Sam's feet. And then she replied to my message saying, never, 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 ever happened. Ridiculous. I go, what are you saying never happened? It was a scary situation. Am I a frickin' mammoth? Question mark. Yes. I'm a weak as white girl. She had to always use her skin color in defense to her strength. I'm a white girl as well. That has nothing to do with what I'm capable of. Basically, she's saying it because you're brown, but her saying she's weak because she's white.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. But she would also call me white, which I don't get too. There's a text and she says, I don't even see Sam as brown. She's like white, balangi white.
Yeah. So I just had to say, don't use your skin color as a defense for your strength, because it's
Yeah.
I threw the toaster at the ground. Yes, that might have been scary, but I made eye contact with Sam the whole time. So keep your royal opinion to yourself, Gina. Fuck, I love that message. Yes, I will fire Sam if she turned out to be an What's the last one? That I'm a for? Question mark. You said 3. You think it wasn't scary for me having my daughter Sam coming at me? Stop with this narrative. She's not your daughter.
Yeah, my mom will love that.
I'm trying to stay civil here, so please don't be condescending, especially when I'm trying to help. I just wanted her to be safe and for me not to retaliate. I go, you both had an argument the night before, which I wasn't a part of, and there were both nasty words from both sides. That's what I heard. She goes, oh, lucky me, you think I'm not trying here? But on Wednesday, which I was there for, when a lot of hurtful things came out, she goes, whatever, I'm the villain, good call, I never put my life before yours. Calling us ungrateful, selfish when we've only tried to be there for you and help you, and threatening to fire Sam over a toaster. Sam holds my entire life in her hands. I trust her with everything. She could roll me in a heartbeat. She replied to my messages being like, yeah, a bit harsh. I don't remember that, but I'm still angry though.
She follows it with, you were such nice people that I'm scared to come home from the psycho's house. And then Sam comes at me, my beautiful daughter in my mind. She would always say, I look at you as my daughter. Like I wanted to be your mom. Like I saw myself as your mom.
That's part of her manipulation. Like that is her love bombing tactic. She calls you her daughter, that you're so beautiful and all of this. You hold, her life in your hands. And then she also calls you ungrateful, selfish, you're disgusting, you like laughs at, your weight.
Yeah.
It's just make it make sense.
Make it make sense, because if you're going to be my mom, then don't sexually be inappropriate with me. All I'm saying. Yeah, and so this is all happening, and I'm actually still asleep. After conversations with Gina, I enter the chat, and then this is when things like turn slightly. I pretty much say, I don't want any of us to argue about this. I know I came at you the other night, but there are more details to that night than I went into. I just left it because I thought at the time we discussed it, it was still fresh, for me at least. And then we put it in the past, which I was grateful for. But I do feel the need to say I only came at you verbally and not physically, because I think that's the part I need to stress the most. On Wednesday evening, you did threaten to fire me because of how serious the threat sounded. And then being made to say it won't happen again made me feel extremely small and like I was just something you scrape off your shoe. That evening, though, you did verbally come at us and did say a lot of hurtful things, which I do understand because I know you were disappointed in us. I'm not in any way, shape, or form trying to gaslight you at all, but that is what happened. And then she says, you broke my heart. It's true, inappropriate behavior by me. I'm so sorry. I thought I was beyond that. And I pretty much replied and I said, I understand how you must have felt and you are important to us, but I want you to know that never ever was it our intention to make you feel hurt or that we would just leave you. I was under the impression that it was okay because we spent quite a bit of time talking about it and going through plans, role plays, etc. But I will say I should have realized you weren't ready to be alone. And by the time I realized this, it was too late, but I don't think we deserved the reaction we got because that broke our heart coming from someone we have so much love and respect for. And then her last message was, oh, wow, we're even then, 2 sets of up hearts. First off, one up heart.
Yeah.
Don't speak for us.
No.
Our hearts are perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Me and Gina went radio silent on that chat. Gina was lucky enough that was the end of our contact. I, unfortunately, was still getting phone calls because she refused to pay everyone their wages. I had no contact with her after I tried to figure out the whole wages situation, which I couldn't. She was being a brat about it, and there was nothing I could do.
Okay, and then we moved to the 28th.
And then I get a text.